Welcome back to Business English for Success. I'm Emma.
And I'm Mark. We are so glad you're here today because we're about to tackle a silent career killer that keeps thousands of talented professionals awake at night.
Exactly, Mark. Have you ever been in a high-stakes meeting, staring at your screen, and suddenly you hear the VP say, "So, what do you think about this?" And your mind is just blank. Not because you don't have the skills, but because you literally can't find the English words to match your expertise.
Oh, I've been there. It's that panic mode. You feel like if you stay silent, people think you're not engaged. But if you speak and make a mistake, you're afraid of sounding unprofessional. It's a lose-lose situation.
That is the exact pain point we are solving today. This isn't just a language lesson, it's about executive presence. We're going to give you a survival toolkit to look like a strategic leader in every meeting, even when your brain feels 100% empty.
By the end of this video, you'll have specific placeholders and power phrases that will literally change how your colleagues perceive you. You won't just be the quiet one anymore.
And stay tuned, because in about 15 minutes, I'm going to share a secret weapon phrase. It's a single sentence that makes you sound like the smartest person in the room without you having to add a single new idea. You do not want to miss that.
I need that phrase right now. But first, Emma, we have to talk about the brutal truth that no one tells you about meeting politics.
Let's dive in, because if you don't understand why your silence is dangerous, you'll never be able to fix how you speak. Coming up next, why being quiet is actually killing your promotion chances. So Mark, let's talk about the brutal truth. Most professionals think they stay silent because their English isn't perfect yet.
Right. They tell themselves, if I just study more grammar, then I'll be ready to speak up.
But that's a trap. The truth is, even native-level executives sometimes have no idea what to say. The difference is, they know how to fill the space professionally while they think.
That's a huge distinction. In a U.S. corporate environment, if you are silent, leadership doesn't think you're modest. They think you're unprepared or disengaged.
Exactly. It's meeting politics. Think of a meeting as a stage. You don't need a 10-minute speech to be a star. You just need to check in verbally.
So the goal isn't to have the perfect idea, but to have a professional structure that keeps you in the game.
Bingo! 90% of a successful meeting is just navigating the flow. If you master 5 simple functions like clarifying or aligning, you will sound more senior than the person who talks for 20 minutes about nothing.
Low effort, high impact. I love that. But Emma, I can hear our viewers thinking, that sounds great, but what if the meeting is moving so fast that I only understand about half of what's going on?
That is the biggest fear of all, and that's exactly what we're solving in the next 5 minutes.
Are we talking about the emergency button?
Yes, I'm going to give you 3 specific phrases to use when you only understood 40% of the conversation, but you still need to sound like an expert contributor. If you've ever felt lost in a meeting, you cannot skip this next part. Let's look at your survival phrases for when things get moving too fast. Okay, Mark, let's get into the emergency button. This is for that nightmare moment when the speaker is talking at 100 miles per hour. Their accent is difficult and you only caught maybe 3 words.
Oh man, that's the scariest part. You feel like a deer in headlights. You're thinking, please don't look at me, please don't ask me anything.
Exactly. But here's the secret. You don't need to understand the whole paragraph. You just need to catch one noun, one keyword, like timeline, budget, or client.
Okay, I caught the word timeline. Now what? Do I just say timeline and hope for the best?
No, you use the keyword inquiry move. You say, I'm curious about the timeline. Could we dive a bit deeper into that?
Wait, that's genius. Because when I ask that, the other person starts talking again. They explain more, and I get more time to actually understand what's happening.
Exactly. You aren't adding information, you're requesting it. In the US corporate world, asking for detail makes you look detail-oriented. They don't know you're lost. They think you're being careful.
But Emma, what if they ask, What specific part of the timeline are you worried about?
Good point. Then you use the safe generalization. Say, I'm just thinking about the potential bottlenecks. I'd love to hear your perspective first.
I'd love to hear your perspective first. That is a classic power move. You just pass the ball back to them.
So, you've just learned how to survive when you're totally lost. But what if you do understand everything, but you just don't have a single new idea to contribute?
That happens a lot. I feel like if I don't have a new idea, I shouldn't speak at all.
Wrong. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you the mirror move. It's a technique that allows you to be seen as the wise advisor of the room without using a single new brain cell. Stick around because this is how you build authority without the stress of being creative.
Okay, part 4. The smartest person in the room with 0 new ideas? Tell me more because I'm ready to be a wise advisor today.
It's called strategic mirroring. Think of yourself as a mirror. When someone else says something smart, you don't just sit there. You reflect it back to the group with a professional twist.
So if Sarah says, we need to focus on mobile users because our desktop traffic is dropping, what do?
You wait for a 2-second pause and you say, just to reflect on Sarah's point, shifting our focus to mobile seems critical right now, especially with the current traffic trends.
Wait, I just said exactly what Sarah said, but I used bigger words like critical and traffic trends.
Precisely. You didn't steal her idea, you validated it. In a meeting, the person who validates the good ideas often gets as much credit as the person who had the idea.
That's so true. It makes me sound like I'm looking at the big picture. I'm the approver.
Exactly. To sound even more senior, add a value tag at the end. Like, I agree with Sarah. Prioritizing mobile is key for our Q3 growth.
Q3 growth. Adding a business goal makes it sound so professional. It connects the idea to the company's success.
And here's the secret sauce. People love it when you repeat their ideas. Sarah will like you for the support, and the boss will like you for keeping the momentum. It's a win-win.
Okay, I can mirror, I can validate, and I can survive. But Emma, we haven't talked about the most dangerous situation yet.
Oh? Which one?
The direct attack. What if the boss points at you and says, hey, you've been quiet, what's your take on the budget? And you haven't even looked at the budget file.
Don't worry, Mark. In the next part, we are going to talk about the professional delay. I'm going to teach you exactly how to say, I don't know, without ever using the word no or don't. It will actually make you look more responsible for not knowing the answer immediately. Stay right there. Okay, Mark, we are now at the hot seat. Imagine the boss turns to you and says, what's your take on the budget for this project? And inside, you're screaming because you haven't opened that Excel file in 3 days.
Oh, that's the moment I start looking for the exit sign. My heart usually skips a beat. What do, Emma? I can't just say, I don't know, right?
Never. In a US corporate setting, I don't know can sound like you didn't do your homework. Instead, you use the data-driven delay.
The data-driven delay? That sounds fancy. How does it work?
You say, that's a fair question. I'd like to pull the latest numbers before I give you a definitive answer. Can I circle back to you by the end of the day?
Wait, so I'm not saying I don't know. I'm saying I want to be accurate. Nodding. That actually makes me look more responsible, not less.
Exactly. You are showing that you have high standards. You don't guess, you provide facts. People respect that.
But what if the boss is pushy and says, just give me a ballpark figure, a rough number right now?
Then you use the context cushion. You say, I'd prefer not to give an inaccurate figure at this stage. Let me double-check the latest revisions and I'll send a summary to the group.
Wow. You just avoided the bullet and even got a homework assignment that makes you look like a team player. That is easy business English magic.
So, you've learned how to mirror smart ideas and how to delay difficult questions. You are surviving. But what if you want to do more than just survive? What if you want to lead the discussion without having any big ideas of your own?
Lead the discussion without ideas? Is that even possible?
Absolutely. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you the clarification trap. This is a way to speak without knowing anything, simply by making other people talk more. It's the ultimate survival tool for long meetings. Stick with us because right after that, we are diving into the bridge, the only way to disagree with your boss without sounding aggressive.
The clarification trap. I love the name. It sounds like I'm setting a trap for someone else to do the work.
In a way, you are. Look, when you have nothing to say, the best thing you can do is ask a question that defines the scope.
Define the scope? Can you give me an example?
Sure, instead of trying to think of a new marketing idea, you ask, just to clarify, are we focusing on customer acquisition or customer retention for this campaign?
Oh, so I'm asking them to choose between A or B.
Exactly. You don't need to know the answer. By asking that, the whole room starts debating A versus B. And guess who started that strategic discussion? You.
That's brilliant. Everyone thinks I'm thinking about the strategy, but I'm really just asking a basic question to understand what's going on.
Right. Here are 3 power questions you can memorize. 1, what's our primary metric for success here? 2, how does this align with our Q4 goals? And 3, could you walk us through the technical constraints one more time?
Technical constraints. I love that one. It sounds so professional. Even if I don't understand the technical part, asking about constraints makes me sound like a senior manager.
Exactly, Mark. You are participating, you are visible, and most importantly, you are giving other people the chance to explain their ideas. People love to talk about their work, so they will think you are a great communicator just because you asked them a question.
This is so much easier than I thought. English isn't the barrier. My fear was the barrier. But Emma, what about when someone says something I totally disagree with? I don't want to stay silent and let a bad idea pass, but I also don't want to start an argument.
Ah, the safe disagreement. That is a very delicate dance. In the next part, I'm going to show you how to bridge those ideas without creating any conflict. I'll give you the exact yes and technique that top US executives use to change the direction of a meeting without anyone even noticing. Stay tuned because this is where you turn your presence into real power. Okay, Mark, let's talk about a scary situation. What happens when someone says something in a meeting and you actually disagree, but you don't want to sound aggressive or rude in English?
Oh, that's a tough one. In English, I'm always afraid that if I say, I don't agree, I'll sound like I'm attacking them. So usually I just stay quiet and let the bad idea happen.
And that's exactly what we want to avoid. You don't need to say no, you just need to build a bridge. You connect their point to a different perspective.
A bridge? Give me a phrase I can use, Emma.
Instead of I disagree, try this. I see your point, but building on that, have we considered how this might affect our long-term budget?
I see your point, but building on that. That sounds so much softer. It feels like I'm adding to the conversation, not starting a fight.
Exactly. You are acknowledging them first. Another great one is, that's an interesting perspective. Following up on that, I'm wondering if we should also look at option B?
Following up on that, it's like I'm a detective just looking for more information. It's so safe.
And here is a secret. In US meetings, people love the phrase yes and, even when they mean no. You can say, yes, and to add to that, we might also want to think about the legal side. You just redirected the whole meeting without any drama.
Wow, I've heard leaders use that all the time. I never realized they were actually disagreeing. So we've learned how to survive, how to mirror, and even how to disagree safely. But Emma, what if I only have 10 seconds to make my point before someone interrupts me?
That is the golden skill. In the next 5 minutes, I am going to reveal the 10-second power structure. If you forget everything else today, remember this formula. It's the ultimate secret sauce to sounding like a senior manager, even if you only say one sentence. Stick around because this formula is the difference between being a follower and being a leader in the room.
I'm ready, Emma. Give me the formula. I've got my pen ready.
Here it is. Context, point, safe end. That's it. 10 seconds. No rambling, no mistakes.
Context, point, safe end. Okay, break it down for me.
First, context. You tell them what you're talking about. Example, regarding the marketing plan, or about the new schedule.
Okay, just the topic. Then the point.
Right. Your point is just one simple sentence. It can be a mirror or an agreement like we learned. Example, I agree with Sarah that we need more time.
And the safe end. That sounds like the part that saves my life.
It is. The safe end is a sentence that closes your turn so you don't keep talking and get nervous. You can say, so I think that should be our priority, or, and I'm happy to support that.
So, regarding the budget, context, I agree we need to be careful, point, and I'm happy to help with the review, safe end. Wow, that felt so professional, and it only took about 8 seconds.
Perfect! You sounded like a manager. You didn't over-explain and you gave a clear message. In business, being clear is more important than being smart.
I can't believe it. I've spent years trying to translate long sentences in my head when all I needed was this 10-second structure. But Emma, I'm still worried. What if I use these tools but I still make those common mistakes that make me look junior?
You're right to be worried. There are 3 deadly mistakes that can kill your professional value instantly, even if your English is great. In the next part, I'm going to show you what they are so you can avoid them forever. And stay until the very end, because I'm giving you a 7-day action plan to make all of this a permanent habit. Let's look at those value killers in part 9.
Before we get to the practice plan, Mark, we have to talk about the deadly mistakes. These are things people do because they are nervous, but it actually kills their professional value instantly.
Oh, I'm nervous just hearing that word deadly. What's the number 1 mistake, Emma?
It's the apology trap. Never start a sentence with, sorry, my English is not good, or sorry, I'm not sure I understand.
Wait, why? I thought being polite was good. I'm just being honest about my level.
In a social setting, yes, but in a business meeting, when you apologize for your English, you are telling everyone, don't listen to me, I'm not competent. Instead of saying sorry, just use the power questions we learned in part 6. Say, could you repeat that last point? That's a professional request, not an apology.
Oh, I see. I'm asking for a tool to do my job. I'm not asking for forgiveness. What else?
Mistake number 2, waiting for the perfect idea. Many people sit in a 60-minute meeting, wait for a genius thought, it never comes, and they stay silent the whole time.
That's me. I'm always waiting for a eureka moment.
Forget it! A small mirror comment in the first 10 minutes is 100 times better than a genius idea at the very end when everyone is tired. You want to be visible early.
Visible early. Got it. No apologizing and speak up early. What's the last one?
The ramble. When people get nervous, they talk too much to explain themselves. That's why you must use the 10-second structure from part 8. Stop when you hit your safe end. Don't keep going.
I've done that. I keep talking and then I realize I've lost everyone's attention. So we've fixed the mindset, the survival phrases, the power structures, and the mistakes. But Emma, knowledge is nothing without action. How do we make this stick?
That is the final piece of the puzzle. In the next 2 minutes, I'm giving you the 7-day action plan. This is a step-by-step roadmap to turn everything we talked about today into a permanent habit. If you do this for 1 week, your next meeting will feel like you're a completely different person.
A 7-day plan? I love that. Let's give them the homework. This is where the real change happens. Day 1 starts tomorrow. What's the move?
Days 1 and 2, don't even try to speak yet. Just listen and write down 3 key words from every meeting. Then, in private, practice saying, "So, we are talking about keyword, right?"
Okay, keyword catching. I can do that.
Days 3 and 4, practice the mirror move. Even with a friend or a close colleague, just say, "I agree with your point about keyword." Get your mouth used to the sounds.
And day 5?
Day 5, use 1 clarifying question in a real meeting. Just 1. Could you clarify what you mean by keyword? That's it. 1 win.
Only 1. That's not too scary. What about the weekend?
Days 6 and 7, record yourself using the 10-second power structure. Listen to it. Do you sound confident? If not, do it again until you hear a leader's voice.
You know, Emma, this really changes everything. It's not about how many words you know, it's about how you use the few words you do know.
Exactly. My biggest hope is that our viewers stop feeling invisible. You were hired because you are good at what you do. Don't let a language barrier hide your talent.
That's right. If you found this toolkit helpful, please subscribe to Business English for Success. We're here to help you turn hard English into easy business English every single week.
And don't forget to check out our next video where we'll talk about how to lead a Zoom call, even if you're the most junior person in the room. Trust me, that technique is a total game changer.
I can't wait for that one. I'll see you all in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.